Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I was sitting around looking this morning at these little bags. As a matter of fact, we sold quite a few, so they were pulling them, and I was looking at them thinking, I need to do something else with those bags because I got a little stack of them myself. Now, these are the small paper bags that we have for sale in the store, and they are 7 inches by 3.5 if you do it this way and don't open it up. So 7 by 3.5. It's a very good size to do lots of little things with. So I went searching on Pinterest. That's a bad thing to do. You get on Pinterest and it's like a rabbit hole. You just keep going down, down, down. But anyway, I saw a girl do a little mini album with some little bags. Now hers were larger than this, but I wanted to do something really small, like just a little gift, maybe mini album. And I thought you guys might want to see it. Now I'm going to be using some of the papers to cover my bags. These are from Marie at Aftermidnight Designs. They're absolutely beautiful. They're called Vintage Lady. Now you may see some of mine printed more than once, but you get the gist. You know I like to print 2 or 3 times the same one because I use it so many times. Look at this. Is that pocket not absolutely gorgeous? And see, these will be just the right size to go on these little bags. And these tickets. And this pocket. Tickets. I don't remember how many pages she said there was in this, but you'll just have to kind of look through and see the different ones because I didn't even count them. I just started printing and let it go. But look at that. Look at those tickets. They're beautiful. Love this. Thank you so much, Marie, for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. And you guys know that I really brag on Marie because she does some of the most beautiful digitals and unusual. I think it's because I believe she lives in, I want to say Europe? I don't know. Anyway, she lives across the big pond from me. And it may be her over there, you know, she may be able to get different photos than we do here. So this is just so pretty. Look at those pockets. I can't wait to use all of them. But I'm going to use a few of the papers on these because most of this is too big for this little journal. But look at that, isn't that pretty? And that's just printed twice. I think she said there was 4 parts, I want to say, to this collection. That's beautiful. Love those tags. And there's more of those pockets. I did print those twice too, and that twice, because I knew I would want them. And then some of the papers I have printed more than once. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. I love, love, love it. And that. I love the eucalyptus. She's included in that. Eucalyptus is one of my favorite, I guess you'd call it greeneries. But not a lot of people include it in their digitals, but I love that. So pretty. Okay, so that. And then I think I might be starting over. Yeah, I think you've seen that one, and that one, and that one. But isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous collections. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of playing. I don't know how this will turn out. The girl that I saw on Pinterest, I tried to, you know, how you click on it and you can go to their channel or whatever, and I clicked on it and it said not available. So I don't know if she doesn't have a channel anymore, if, you know, something has shut down. I have no clue. But I think I got the gist of it, but I'm not sure. So we'll see what I come up with. Now, what you need to do is take these and you're going to fold this bottom part. You know, that's the part right there. But before you fold that, we're going to cut this little part right here off because we don't need that. This is going to end up being a pocket like that, and we don't need that extra bulk in there, so we're just going to cut that off. Now, don't cut it too far down because you don't want to cut into this part, but I just hold it up like this where I can see down in there, and then I'm just going to cut straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to keep these little pieces because we're going to do something with those. And then when you fold this down, see, that's open, but what we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue in there, because it doesn't matter if this closes up, because this is not going to be a pocket. That part right there is not going to be part of your pocket. We just want that closed so that when you put something down in your pocket, then it doesn't hang on that. So see, this is going to be your pocket, but you do want that closed up so that when you put something down in here, it doesn't hang on that. So just make sure that you glue that down pretty well. And I like to just press it down with my bone folder to make sure that it's all that glue has adhered, and then it's nice and flat. Plus, it takes out some of that bulk that you have on this side, and it keeps your little bag from trying to fold on you. Let me grab one that I haven't worked on a little bit and I'll show you. When you take this and you fold it up like this, watch this part of the bag. See how it kind of crinkles? And that's because you've got all this bulk here. Now you can solve that problem by, you know, just kind of pressing it down, but if you cut that out, it's not going to do that. So we've cut that out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little glue right here. Let's see. Let me think about this. I may want to cover this before I put glue there. Do I? No. I think I'm going to put them together and then I'm going to cover. We're going to do it the scary way. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover them right when I do this or not, but we're going to see. Okay, I've just got glue on each side, and then I'm going to press that down and just make sure that my sides come together like that and like that. And again, I'm going to press this down really hard with my bone folder just to make sure that that catches. It looks like it has. Now you can use score tape here if you want to. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue because it seems to work great, so I'm not going to worry about pulling out my score tape. But if you want to use score tape so that it'll catch a lot quicker, you can do that. Okay, so there's one. That's one page right there. So let's do a few more. Let's see. I did cut one a minute ago. I cut that one, so we'll go ahead and glue that one together. So glue up through here. And I know I won't get this finished today. I may get it put together, but I won't get it decorated, but we'll come back and decorate it tomorrow. I'll show you how to put all the pages together and decorate everything nice and pretty. Okay. And again, I'm going to take my bone folder and just press that down really hard right there. That will make your glue spread out and then soak up into that paper. So there's another sheet. Alright, we're just going to hold this up, trim this off like this. And then remember, keep that little piece. We will do something with that. It's too pretty to throw away anyway, isn't it? Okay. I like to put a good amount of, whoops, I like to drop my scissors. Put a good amount of glue up under there, and then I just use my towel when I press it down. That way my towel soaks up any excess, and then I come back in with my bone folder. Now if you have any little pieces, like this one right here is trying to stick up a little bit, just glue those down. You know that your paper bags are not all stuck down well, so if you have any little pieces sticking up, just go ahead and trim those off. See, that one looks like, no, that one's not stuck down well either. Some of them are and some of them aren't, so I don't think they will hinder it because they're actually going that way, but I'd like to go ahead and glue them down anyway. Okay, put a little glue up through here and a little glue up through here. These would also make some cute pockets for your journals, just like this. Not even making a little mini album or a little journal, just using them like they are. And these are a nice thickness bag too. You know, they're not like the average little lunch bags that are kind of thin. These are pretty thick. Okay, so there is another pocket and page. And I don't know how many pages I'll have on this. Probably I'll have 5, maybe 5. We'll see. I don't want to get it too thick, but I want to have enough that I can put some things in it. Put a little bit of glue there, and that should work. And then we're going to glue this down. Okay, so there is another. Let's see how many I've got. I've got 4. I'm going to do one more. And then we'll start putting some things together. I might even do 2 more. I don't know. Alright, this is our last one. I went ahead and did 6. Just because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker than 5. Oh, I can even pick up my towel without picking up everything with it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and press all this down well. So there we go. We have 6, 5, 6. We have 6 of those little bags, and they're all folded up. Now you can see that some of them are just a tiny bit longer here than the others. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and trim them all down, hopefully to the same size up here. And that'll take a little bit of that rough edge off too. So let me grab my trimmer. Okay, let's see what we want to trim these off to. Let's see, there is 5 right there. Let's see if 5 will work. Nope, not really taking off anything. Let's trim them down to 4 3/4. That should work. So we'll trim them all at 4 3/4. Then they should be a little bit more even. Anybody seen my other little leg for my trimmer? Let me know. It lost a leg somewhere along the way, and now it's a little bit wobbly. Okay, try that one again. I didn't hold it real good. There we go. Okay, now they're the exact same size. Alright, now what we're going to do is take these little pieces. This is not how she did it on her video, but I was looking at what I needed to do, and I thought, if I put it together exactly like she did, there's going to be a couple of pages that's not going to flip right, I think. I didn't really see all of her video because she didn't show it all on the Pinterest. You know how you can only show just a certain part of the video, and then when I clicked on to go over to her channel, there was no channel. So I'm going to use these, and I'm going to make a little spine piece to go in between these pages, and I'm using this paper because it's the same color. So I will show you what I'm talking about in just a second. I'm going to glue all these little excess pieces down on here just so that it'll be nice and flat. Alright, all I'm going to do is cut off right here at the end. We don't need this little piece, so we're not going to waste very much of this bag at all. And then I'm going to cut this in at just a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to use your open side, and then you're going to cut this in just a little bit at an angle. So the open side and just a tiny bit at an angle. And I'll show you how that's going to help you in just a second. Now we're going to lay them down like this. This one is, the pocket is on the bottom, and this one, the pocket's on the top. Then you're going to glue this down just like that, and then fold it over and glue it to this. And you can make this a little smaller. That's kind of big, so I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller. And you can use your trimmer to do this if you want. I'm using my scissors, you know me. Okay, now here again you can use your score tape. I'm just going to go in with my art glitter glue. Just make sure that you get your glue all over this little piece. This is going to be your attachment, and what you're going to do is the folded part, you're going to put it to the folded part of your page, and it needs to go right up to the edge. Now since I can't get over mine, I'm going to hold it up like this so that I can see it. Just put it right to the edge, all the way down like that, so both of them are even. And then you've got this little flap. That little flap is going to be the one that attaches this page to that one. So we're going to put glue there, and we're going to fold that over. These are just some little hinges that we're putting in here. And try to put them as even as possible. It doesn't matter if they're a little bit off, but if the more even that you put these little pieces, the more even your bags are going to be. So I just kind of match up my bags on top and on bottom. I don't put them right together. I leave about 1/16 of an inch, and then we're going to fold that over and press it down. Okay. Now if you put enough glue under this, I think I've got glue everywhere. If you put enough glue under that, you really are not going to be able to tell that that is a little space, that is a little hinge there. You're not even going to be able to tell it. Plus we're going to have paper on it anyway. So see, that hinged those together. And so now they will flip. Like there's your first page, there'll be your second page. So we're going to go on doing that. Now this isn't, like I said, this is not how she did it. But this is how, in my mind, I need to do it. So in these little pieces, just open them out. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this off, because really all I need is, I just need the center part. And then you can cut these pieces out here off, because you're not going to need that. You don't have to use these if you don't want. I'm just using them because I have them. And there's no use in me throwing them away when I can use them on these little bags. This one is a lot more sticky than that other one was. It's not wanting to come apart. But you know, you could use just some cardstock to put these together. Lots of different things. You don't have to use these pieces. I don't know, I like to use up what I can, and they match the paper bags perfectly. So if I don't get everything covered, I don't have to worry about something being seen. Just make sure when you trim your little angles here that you're trimming from the open side down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and peel that off. It's just going to be in my way. So see, that's what we have. Let me trim that a little bit better. That's how it's trimmed there. This is the folded side, and this is the open side. And then you're just going to put glue on one side. And then you're going to take it and put this right up at the end, or at the edge. And this one's a little bit shorter because I took that extra piece off, and that doesn't matter. They don't have to be the same length as your paper bags. They're still going to hold it together. So put it right up at the edge, as close as you can get to where that paper bag ends. And then we're just going to put it up against this one. Remember, this one's up, this one's down, pocket up, and then just put them pretty close, not all the way, because you want it to be able to move. And then we're going to put some glue on here. Oops. And while I'm holding this one as best I can, I'm just going to flip that over. Press it down, and there's another hinged page. Now we're going to put some lace over this, so don't worry about any of your glue showing or anything like that. I don't worry about that part because lace will cover all of that up. Okay, put my pocket down, put my pocket up, and we're going to go ahead and attach these other 3. Now I'll show you one more and then I'll probably attach the other 2 off camera because you should be able to get the gist of what I'm doing. I'll show you one more. Just open these little pieces up like that, and then just trim all this excess off, and then you can just measure, and I think I'll be able to use that end right there. Yep. And then I like to cut it down a little bit because it is a little bit wide. And then this one looks a little crooked here, so I'm just going to run my bone folder over it and make sure that that fold is folded well and it's straight down through there, as straight as possible. Nothing has to be perfect. Cut it a little bit at an angle. And I'm just going to dry fit it and make sure. Yeah. See, it doesn't have to go all the way from one end to the other. It's still going to hold this together. All this is a little hinge. Okay, remember your folded part goes toward the folded part of your bag. You don't put your open part out here, you put your folded part. And then just run it just as close to the end of that bag as you can. Like that. See? Just as close as we can. Alright, we're going to put that up pretty close. And then I'm going to press this down. Now when they get a little bit taller, you'll notice that you have to hold it up in order to press it down and get it even, because your bag, because your stack is getting higher, therefore your bags are not coming together flat. That made absolutely no sense, didn't it? I'm telling you, some days I know what I want to say, but it just doesn't come out of my mouth the way I want to say it. Okay, let me explain that again in just a second. Alright, you see this stack is getting higher. But when I put one up here, this one's very low. So this piece, when I start to fold it over, you really need to fold it a little bit and then pick it up to put it this way. If you don't, it's going to be kind of off like that. So just start folding it over and then pick it up and pull it up here. So that should work like that. Alright, we've got, so here's our pages. There's a page, there's a page, there's a page. Each page has a nice pocket on it. So pocket down, pocket up. Get our little piece here. Open it up. Now I don't think anybody else has been crazy enough to try this. Not like I'm doing. I know the girl that I was watching, and she didn't give her name, so I just keep calling her the girl. She did some, and they were larger bags, and they were not put together like this, but I'm talking about this. I have not seen anybody else do it, but if you have, kudos to you. I just haven't seen it. Okay, there we go. And then just going to trim that at a little bit of angle. The reason you kind of angle that end is because if you had them, well, which this one is, you see how this one is a little bit long? So if I trim that end off, even though it looks a little long, the tips are going to come right to the end, and this piece up here is not going to stick out the edge. See if that makes sense. See, if I have them trimmed like that, okay, this piece that's going to hold it is going to come right to the end, but this up here, it's going to come in some, so you don't have a piece sticking out here. Whereas if you had it cut straight up, you would probably have a piece here of this paper, and then you'd have to try to trim that off, and that's a bummer. So my goodness, explaining things today. I can't even understand myself. I know y'all can't understand me. You know, I've been working on orders all day. Melina's gone. They're gone on vacation. Again. No, not again. The last trip that they took was not a vacation. It was a ministry trip. So they're gone on vacation this week, the end of the week. And so, Pops and I are holding down the fort. So I miss the four of them. I miss their work. No, I'm kidding. I miss them. But, so I've been working on orders all day. And we have about got all your orders ready to go out the door. See, I picked that one up and put it down just so that I could match the ends up. So you can do that if you need to. Okay, I said I was going to do some of them off camera, but guess what? I've just continued working right on. Right, I'm going to trim that tiny little tip right there. Okay, we've got one more, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it on here. And you know how to attach it by now, so I'm just going to attach this one and probably fast forward it. Alright, I have all of my bags together, and here are my pages. So I have a pocket, page, pocket, page, pocket, page, pocket, all the way through. Now, you can use any size bags that you have. I'm using these because this is the size that I wanted to try it with, but if you have other size bags that you want to use, then you go right ahead. It all works the same way. Now that I've got these put together, I may have let one slide here or there, so right at the end, I have just a little bit of an offset for this second one. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and my ruler, and then I'm just going to straighten these up. You don't have to do this. You can leave it like it is. It's not a big deal. It's just going to bug me, so I'm going to trim it off. Okay, looks like we've got that trimmed pretty good. They look pretty even now. So now what we want to do is we want to add a front and a back cover to this. Now, what do I want to put for the front and back cover? I don't want it to be a hard chipboard cover, but I want it to be pretty thick. So let me look and see what I have. Okay, we're going to grab some packaging. Now, this packaging is from the Tim Holtz Big Chat, and I've saved some of the packaging. I think you actually have some of this in your kit for this month. I just keep revealing things that's in your kit, don't I? Now, I'm going to measure this again right at 4 3/4, and then right at 3 1/2. So I want my cover to be just a tiny bit bigger than my album there, or my journal. So I'm going to measure right at 4 7/8, and then I said 3 1/2. So let's do 3 5/8. That'll put it just a tiny bit bigger than the little pages. So let me cut this one, and then I'll turn around and cut that other one to match this one. Hopefully this is going to be the right size. Okay, I'm going to save that piece because I can use that for tags. Let me make sure this is going to be the right size before I cut the other one. Yes, so that's going to work perfect. Perfect, perfect. And we can cover this with paper or leave it as is. Doesn't matter which one you do with that. Now let me mark this one so that I get my front and my back covers the same. Whoops. Cut it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, let's make sure that they're even. Looks like they are. Now we're going to add these on here and then at the back. And you say, how are we going to add those on? And I say, I'm not sure yet. No, let's see. We can add these on with another hinge we can hinge the covers just like we did the pages. So let's just go ahead. I only have one more of these though, so I'll have to use something else for the back, which is not a problem. We can do that. So we're using old packaging, we're using paper bags, and we're using the scraps of the paper bags. So this works. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and trim that at a little bit of an angle, and then I'm gonna cut it off just a little bit. Alright, we will put this here, and then we'll attach it to that. Whoops. Okay, now on here you're going to put it right at the end, just like we did to add the pages, just like that. I like to just make sure that it's right at the end. Alright, and then we're just going to add glue on this side. And I am going to make sure that I try to get this as even as possible. So I'm going to hold it up like this. And that's why I like to use the glue, because I can wiggle it just for a little while and get it pretty even. Oops, I let that one slide a little bit. Don't let it slide. Don't let it slide. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. So we're going to press that down. Now, this will strengthen when we put our lace or our material, whatever you want to put on the spine here. That'll strengthen that up. So I'm not going to worry about that. But I do need another piece. Okay, I've had this little piece laying on my desk for a while. So we're going to take this and cut a piece of this off and use it. That was from another paper bag project that I did. And yeah. Okay, now you do need to fold it. If you use any kind of paper or cardstock, you need to make sure that you fold it in the middle. And I don't want it too long. That'll work right there. Put that right up at the edge. Now, I don't have one made like this, so I can't show you one that's already made. This is the first one I've ever done. I have no idea what it's going to turn out to be, but we shall see. Alright, then we're going to put our glue right here. And then you're going to grab this piece up and just try to get it even with the one on the other side. Just look at both of them like that. Try to get it as even as you can. And then if you need to, you can go ahead and clamp it while everything dries. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I have some clamps in here that'll go over it. Yeah. Ooh, that one barely. Okay. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, we're going to set that aside and let that dry. Okay, I think this is dry enough that we can get started on adding some pages. So this is going to be the front, or adding some paper, I should say, not pages. And I'm going to use my tear ruler. Just tear the white off of this. Oops. My hubby printed these. If I had printed them, I would have told it to do the full page, but I don't think he knows how to change that setting, so, and that's fine. It's no problem. We've got the paper anyway. We've got what we want here. Okay, what do I want on the front? I love that, but I also like that. That's very pretty. So let's put this part up here on the front. Now all I'm going to do is mark this and tear it. I don't care if it's a little short or if part of that backing shows. That doesn't bother me because I don't mind that color. So I'm just going to try to tear it as straight as possible. Do you know how that goes? Let's see. Use our grid so maybe we can come somewhere near straight. There we go. And then we'll do this one. If I was not on camera, I could get up over it and I could see a little bit better, but that's okay. I think that's going to work right there. Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all. At all. Look at that. I think that's going to be pretty. Okay, we are going to ink this. Now I'm going to ink the paper, and I may come back and do some inking around this at a later date, but right now I'm just going to ink the paper because I think this paper just calls for ink. He also printed this on just regular copy paper, which is fine because I've got my pockets and things printed on a heavier paper, and this is going to be okay since I'm going to be gluing it down to this. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue again. If you don't want to use art glitter glue, you can use your glue stick, or you can use whatever glue that you have. But I'm going to use this, and hopefully it's not going to show through. I hope. I may actually spread it out a little bit. I'm going to get some on here. Let's use our little tool and spread it out. That way we won't have the lines showing, maybe. And this is our silicone tools. Have those in the shop as well. I know everybody asks me what I'm using when I do that. I need to pull. Oh, I need to pull it some more. I've not got it at the right place. I don't mind it being a little short at the back because we're going to cover that with lace. So there we go. That'll work. That is cute. I like that. I don't mind that at all. That's pretty. Yeah, and we can add a little bit of inking around the edges if we want, but we'll do that later. I'm not worried about that right now. Now we're going to cover this piece, and I had it the right way up the first time. I'm thinking that right there is going to do it, and all I need to do is trim it off just a little bit. Now this is the way I cover my pages. You may want to measure all of them and do a lot more accurate trimming if you want. I'd rather do it this way. I don't care for measuring. So usually when I measure, I still end up cutting something off anyway. And we're definitely not going to throw that away. So as I was saying, Melina and them everybody likes for me to talk and tell about my family sometimes. Melina and Brandon and the kids have gone to the beach. Brandon is not a beach fan. He doesn't care for it like my husband doesn't. But Melina loves it like I do. And Bethany loves it. Aaron enjoys it, but he falls in there with his dad. If Dad says, I'm going to the room, Aaron says, I'm going to the room too. So, you know, it's whatever Dad does. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. I like that a lot. Okay, there are our first, well, I won't say 2 pages. That's front and back. Front and back. Okay, since this is going to be a pocket, we're just going to cover this top right here. And I may not just constantly use that paper. I may fall in here and use some of this. This is from Betty's Digital that I think we put up as a freebie just a little while ago. And this is an old, like 1800 ledger paper. And then here again, I don't mind if part of my paper bag shows. That doesn't bother me because I like the looks of the paper bag. So, ooh, that's definitely not straight there. I'm going to have to straighten this up before I can before I can cut my piece off, because if I don't, it's going to be all crooked. Oh yeah, that'll be cute. And then also in here where you join these, you could put a little piece of trim in there, or lace, whatever you would want if you want to cover that up. I'm probably not going to worry about it. I don't know, I might. We'll see when we get finished. This ledger paper goes really good with Marie's collection. And see, I like that. I like that with this paper. Got some of the same tans in there. So I think that looks pretty. Alright, now we just need to cover. And I'm covering mine this way. You could always turn it this way depending on how you're going to do your book or your journal. But I'm going to cover mine like this. And I am just going to continue using this piece. Okay, I don't want to tear my woman in half. I'm going to tear a little bit of her off anyway. I'm still having, excuse me, I'm still having terrible allergies. And it's something that's blooming right now, or something that's dying right now, or whatever. But I sneezed like crazy. And then last night I was so stopped up I couldn't breathe. So I'm sorry if I sniffle in the video. I try not to, but I'll tell you, when you have allergies and you have something that, I don't know what it is, that is blooming or dying out there right now. But it is getting my sinuses, I know that. Okay, maybe I should have gone to the beach. That salt water would have helped. I know it would have. Okay, there we go. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And then there's our little pocket. And see, we can still go in here and ink these a little bit. As a matter of fact, I think my little brush would probably do better than that. Just go in with our little brush and ink that like that. And there you've got your little pocket that we can put some tags in. And I got just the right size tags yesterday to do that. Now these, I was going to tell you, you can do these two different ways. You can glue the gussets together so that you have your pocket like that. Or you can leave them open so that you've got big pockets. Doesn't matter, either way looks fine. I'm probably going to leave mine open for now. And I may end up later on closing them up. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to continue and use this piece right here. I'm going to bring that just as far down there as I can. Just marking my little position there. We've still all got to do we've still, all of us, got to do a beach trip with just the girls, because my other two granddaughters have been begging and begging to go, and they had things this week that they had to do that they couldn't go, so they have been begging to go. So we're gonna have to get a girls trip up, just us girls. Most of the men don't care for the beach anyway. Benji does, but Brandon doesn't. He hates it, and my husband hates it. He doesn't even get out of the room when we go down there. He stays in the room the whole time. He just gets out to go eat. So I think the girls need to go and just leave all the men at home. I think that would probably be the best. Alright, this one may be a little crooked, but I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, it's a little crooked right there. Don't care. That is the art of making handmade items. And I had a comment, I don't remember who it was right now. I read so many comments every night, I can't remember names. But someone said that they made something that I made and that they weren't satisfied with it because it didn't look good to them. Don't judge yourself like that. Yours, I'm sure, is as pretty, if not prettier, than what I do. There is no rules in art. I mean, there's no rules. You do you, and I do me. You know, I've said that 1,000 times. But don't try to do anything like anybody else. Do what makes you happy and what satisfies you. And if that is, you know, making something like this and doing your pages upside down, then that's up to you. Because I mean, you just don't need to try to copy anybody. Don't try to make it exactly like them, because it's not going to make you happy when you do that. You're not going to be a happy person because you're constantly going to strive to do something that somebody else does. I just like to do my own thing. A lot of people tell me, oh, you ink wrong, or you glue wrong, or you tear wrong, or you cut wrong. Well, you know, I don't do it wrong. I just do me. They might do it a different way, and who's to say that their way is right, you know? So I just do my own thing. It's what makes me happy. And this makes me happy. I love that ledger page with that. That is gorgeous. Now we've got just enough of this that we can put it on another pocket. So we need a little piece for that. So let me grab another sheet of paper. This one looks good. Ooh, that's pretty. Alright. Now I may have to cut part of this out and do the rest of it tomorrow because I don't know how long I've been on here. So we're probably going to do a few more pages, and then I'll finish the pages off camera, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll put some embellishments on them and that kind of thing. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Oh, I'm going to get this butterfly right there. So we are going to, I'm going to mark it right there, and then mark it right there. Okay. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, let's do that. One lady told me that I needed to lay my papers down to ink, because I drove her crazy holding my papers and trying to ink in the air. She said it just gets on my nerves. Oh man, I just had to laugh. I had to laugh because if somebody's getting on my nerves that bad, I'm not going to watch them. So, you know, if I get on your nerves, just don't watch me. Go watch somebody else. But I thought that was kind of funny. She probably didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was funny. Alright, I'll lay that piece over there. And I think I want to put this lady right here. Ooh, isn't that pretty? That is gorgeous. Ray, these images are so, so pretty. You guys have got to get this pack. I've got to get more of this pack. I'm probably going to use all of it on this little album, little journal. Okay, that'll be a good size to keep. And, ooh, I don't want to cut off the top of her head, so we're going to do this. Let's see. I'm going to tear right there, and then I'll just tear a little bit off the bottom and see if I can get it about right. And I'll save that little piece, of course. Yeah, that works right there. I didn't want to cut the top of her head off. I mean, how would I like to have the top of my head cut off? And I like to rough ink. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but I like to rough my paper when I ink. I don't like everything to be so smooth, so I rough it up when I ink. Sometimes I'll even fold it over and crease it a little bit and put a little bit of ink like that. And that makes your paper, just to me, look even more vintage. So let's just do another one right there. Just crease it a little bit and ink it, and then open it back up and look. I love that look. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's put it down right there. You know, my sister, when she has passed now, but when she was alive, she lived in an old, like, I don't know, 1700, 1800 house that used to be an old post office. And so she was quite a bit older than me, and she had a daughter that was just about my age, because my sister was born first and I was last, so there was lots of children in between us and lots of time. So her daughter and I, when we would stay there, when I would stay there, we would go upstairs and investigate and try to find things. And one time we were playing upstairs in the attic, and there was this board that was loose, and so we got to pulling on the board, which I don't know why we did stuff like that, but you know, we were always in trouble. So we pulled on that board, and the board came off, and behind that board was all kinds of old vintage letters. I wished I had those now. They were some that dated back to like 1790 something. We were playing with them, you know, in the attic, and my sister came up and she took them away from us. But we were playing with them. We was playing school with them. We thought we were important. But I would have loved to have had those now. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, we were probably 10 or 11, something like that. And so we didn't know the value of something like that. And of course, she tried to find the owners, and you know, nobody, I mean, she couldn't even forward it or anything because the date was so old. But it was very interesting. We had fun while it lasted anyway. Okay, I think I'm going to use that here and just, oh yes, and put the solid page there. Let's do that. Alright, I'm just going to tear off just a tiny bit of that. That's all I'm going to need torn off. And then not too much of this one. So we're not going to lose very much of that at all. But that was fun. Those were fun days. So what is the oldest thing that you have ever found? Let me know in the comments below. The oldest piece of whatever that you have ever found. I think that's probably the oldest piece of anything I have ever found. I don't think I've found anything any older than that. Even in thrift stores and things, I don't think I've found anything that dates back earlier than that. But let me know in the comments below what is something that's the oldest that you have ever found that date back, you know, I don't know, 200 years or so. I just think it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I got that one on there. And you can see that my glue is not showing through that. This art glitter glue doesn't usually show through. So, I love that. That is looking good. Now, that's probably going to be the last page that I do today. I'm going to go ahead and cover the rest of these just like I did these. I'm going to cover all of them up. And then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll put some lace on here and we'll do some embellishing on it. Now you could round your corners if you want to, and I may round these just a little. I'm not going to round my paper bag. Let me round these just a tiny bit. I'm just going to use the smallest setting on this to round those. I just don't like that sharp point there. Whoops. Something's glued. And that just takes, that one there just takes a tiny bit off the edge. Oh, and I do have more of those on order. We are out right now, but we've got more coming. That is going to be so cute. And we will take some of her embellishments and we will embellish this top. Got lots of pretty things that we can embellish it with. And then we'll have all of these pockets and things in here that we can use. Isn't that going to be sweet? Oh, I can't wait to get it finished. Okay guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. And please don't forget to go over and check out Marie's. This is called Vintage Ladies Junk Journal. Vintage Ladies Junk Journal. You might take a screenshot of that. And she is Aftermidnight Designs. That is the name of her Etsy store. So don't forget to go over and check her out and download these. And you will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, her designs are absolutely gorgeous. Alright, we will talk to you tomorrow and we will do a little bit more on this little journal. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.